I'm in Miami. I'm not quarantined, but I'm still cute. Welcome to the show. This is my new boyfriend, Dean. Say hi to everybody. Hi, Dean. Dean, hi. Coming to you live from Miami. I'm not partying with the Spring Breakers. Don't you worry. I'm in Mid Beach. And today, I'm so excited to welcome actress and mom, Daniela Rabbani. She's coming to us live from New York City. She is a freaking badass. We met in Josh Pice's Committed Impulse class, and we've been in several classes since then. I said crasses, by the way. And I'm keeping it kind of au natural today. Got my little shag happening. I've got my superhero outfit on. I'm going to go to the beach after this. Thank you all so much for joining. Let's get Daniela in here. I think she's got a request, and we're going to talk about it all. I mean, she's like a seasoned performer. She's spent most of her career in off-Broadway, but she also has worked on The Americans, on FX. She's done commercial campaigns for Colgate, The Nook, Windex. She's a boss. So I'm trying to get her in here. How do I do this? Oh my God, Daniela. It says you have to upgrade the app in order to join. Like, it literally just gave me that message. Girl, you're going to have to leave and update the app and come back. And in the meantime, I will bring in other people if they want to come say hi. And I'm just going to keep doing my hair live. So Daniela, yeah, you're going to have to leave and come back. So she's going to come back. And then what I'm going to do is if anyone in the audience wants to just like come chat with me while I'm in Miami, I can give you a tour of my messy hotel room. Let me know. You can just raise your hand. Upgrade 2021. I know, right? Hi, Robert. Let's see if Clubhouse fam is here. Chris, I just sent you a request. Wow, this is going to be a long show today. Hi! Oh no, you're frozen.
Oh no, am I here?
Like you're here in spirit. I feel you. There you
Here
are.
I am. What's up, y'all?
I love that I was promoting that Daniela is going to come.
And instead you got this bearded man from New Orleans hanging out.
Well, tell us a little bit about you because I think you're so funny and awesome. And I think we can have like multiple people on the call. Hold on. Daniela, I think, is ready. So let's have a quick chat, all three of us.
Hey, why not?
She's coming in.
She's already updated her app.
That's fast, right? Daniela!
I'm like kind of freaking out that that this guy Chris is just like in our jam. I think this is very good. I think Quarantine for Q got an upgrade just now. We are three. Look at those tats! I'm yelling.
Oh yeah.
I'm yelling. Look at those tats. Look at that beard.
Look at your background. Look at your dress. Look at your hair. Look at
like
Lauren's hair.
Do you feel like it looks like I'm in a shower? Tell me the truth.
Well, does it look like I'm in a shower?
You know what? It kind of looks like you're in a shower. A little bit looks like you're in a shower. It looks like you're in a jungle, Lauren.
You want to see how messy my room is?
Yeah, Lauren's in the most exotic spot of all of us right now.
Lauren, do you want to see? You don't even want to see messy if you think that's messy.
Well,
I can show you a mess if you want to see a mess.
I'm a disaster.
Oh my God, disaster! It's been a disaster of a year. I'm sorry, I want to be positive, but it's like, how do you?
No, I'm
not
really
be mad? How do you not have like crazy rat hair? How do you have this gorgeous beard?
Well,
Take care. Got it.
you gotta hit it with the beard serum.
Yeah. Wow. Look at you, Mr. Self-Care.
Yeah, I'm not giving you the entire tour, just a little bit of a tour. Whoa, look at you. Oh my gosh.
Like, Chris is like now a part of the interview because, ooh, Daniela.
What, guys? What?
You look fabulous.
I mean,
thank you.
I'm imagining you're in that chair behind me. Wait, how do I do this? There.
I'm just sitting right there looking fabulous. Guys, I got my second vaccine yesterday, nearly 24 hours ago, and I don't feel bad. I feel a little bit tired, but not
I'm
bad.
scared to get it, but I'm gonna get it.
Listen, I was very scared. I don't even take Tylenol.
Girl,
Really?
I'm with you on that.
I
I'm
don't
Girl,
with
take
I'm
you on
talking
that.
Tylenol.
ibuprofen. Don't play.
Oh no, I have like I'm like I'm weird with Western medicine because I like have like very, very strong reactions to it. Except when you give me the coronavirus, I'm fine.
You're so white. She's just like, I am weird with Western medicine.
I'm not. You know what's whatever. I'm like really I'm like ill with Western medicine. I'd rather just like go to acupuncture and meditate.
I mean, I do too, but like when a homegirl's got cramps, like meditation ain't gonna work.
That's actually
Oh,
true.
really? What's the
Oh, you
science?
know
What's
what?
the
Way to throw
science
that
behind
down.
that?
No, but
This
I
is the
appreciate
most
that.
botched interview I've ever done, and I love it.
But
Ratchet
Chris,
AF.
Chris, I need you to know, we
Yes, ma'am.
fucked this shit up.
Yeah.
And I
Well, I
think,
gotta.
what? Do you have to leave? Don't leave.
No, I'm not leaving. I'm just telling you. I just wanted to say hi. I got some homies that are joining the room right now. I just wanted to say what's up to my peoples who are in the room. Just this is me saying what's up. This is not my
Oh,
thing, but I'm happy to be in Lauren and Daniela's thing. I just stumbled in here. I like walked in and I walked into the wrong room and they were like, "Come and have a seat.
what is
Pour
this,
yourself a
Clubhouse?
coffee."
Guys, are we on a different app completely? What's
Well, yeah,
happening here?
when you updated your Instagram, it became Clubhouse. So yeah.
Someone's been paying attention, and it's Chris.
Oh my God, I love you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
Chris, I am
Yes,
gonna.
ma'am.
I love you, and I definitely feel like I may need a new co-host, so I may call you.
He's like
But
that guy. He's like that guy on Jimmy Kimmel. Guaitano. What's his name?
Guantanamo Bay, what?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's like
Guantanamo
this
Bay
like
Bay.
really there's this like really funny, really sweet like little Hispanic man on
Oh yeah, that's
Jimmy
me.
Kimmel who's like the sidekick. It's sort of like how Conan has a sidekick
Yeah,
also.
yeah. No, I understand the concept. Maybe
It's
Chris.
Chris.
Okay,
Chris.
bye, Chris.
Bye,
Bye.
Chris.
I'll see you on the DM and in Clubhouse later. Y'all have fun.
Okay, bye.
Oh
Bye.
wait, you know each other?
We met on Clubhouse. We're like best friends now. I don't know how to get you to go.
I'm working on it. Sorry. Hold on.
Oh well, listen, we all had to update. You might have to update the app, and then
Oh shit.
Daniela, it's like in Committed Impulse when Josh is like, do a couple get outs. Get out!
Get
Get
out!
out! Get out!
You know what's really crazy? I have to be honest. I was feeling so nervous about this interview. Is it an interview? Is it a hangout? What is it?
Interview hangout. Like I keep it cash, man. I don't want to stress people out. I'm not that
No,
famous
you
yet.
don't stress me out, you know. Like I'm so inspired by how front facing you've been throughout this whole time because I had a big hibernation period. I had some spurts of being out there. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like you have been continuously showing up, and that just is not that's just not how I've been operating this year. And I was like,
Okay.
it's okay. But
That's
I will
okay.
tell you that Chris,
I love Chris.
he did a great job just now.
He did. And he's seriously, so he is going to hopefully start co-hosting with me on Clubhouse in my entertainment industry mixer room where like people got signed. There's a kid named Noah who's like 20 and there happened to be an agent in the room and people come up to stage with their asks and offers. And I've only been doing it like 3 weeks. We now have over 1,000 members in the club, the only room. And every Monday, Wednesday, and now Friday, I'm going to be having people guest mod with me so we can serve as many people as possible. And like people are making deals, they're collaborating. Like the abundance is here and it's always been here. I think Clubhouse is breaking through the 6 degrees of separation and turning it into one. And it's amazing, just like your Cupid face.
It's a really amazing Cupid face.
I don't have a fucking filter on. I feel so naked.
I feel naked. You know, it's just to catch people up on how we know each other is from like from
You
acting
gotta
class.
turn that filter off. I can't.
You can't handle it. Can't
It's
handle.
just, yeah, that's sexy. I like it.
Thank you. That's sexy.
I think we're just gonna fuck around for an hour. This is gonna be great.
Yeah, we could fuck around by an hour.
I mean,
I've been loving your show. I've been watching your show and really enjoying it. Oh, look at that filter. That's good. I like that a lot. Hello. Oh, yes. Call
you like
me.
my phone?
Yeah. You know, I went on Clubhouse. I was like sort of active on Clubhouse for a little bit. I've taken a break since, but maybe I should go back. And I almost immediately started working with like a social media manager, like representative.
You mean because of
I think
Clubhouse?
Yeah, I think it actually is a really fantastic tool. And what's been really cool to, to listen to, and I usually just like get like updates that you're in rooms, like bing, 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 Lauren's in a room.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I ping
I love
everybody.
it.
And people
No,
have
I'm notified.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm notified when it's not even when you ping me. I'm notified because I put the bell on for you because you're doing great stuff. Yeah. But I also really, I really appreciate you pinging me. And you know what? Like, whoever's going to unfriend you for that generous behavior is not your friend.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's like strangers. Like, I don't give a fuck. You can follow me or not. Like, I'm building a community, and if you want to be a part of it, like, here it is. And if you don't, like, I don't give a fuck. No skin off my back.
Totally. Yeah. I see that you're building a community. I'm so, like, proud to be a part of it. But I've been, like,
Thanks,
popping in to these Clubhouse rooms and really noticing, like, I don't know if it's because I'm a mom or because the entertainment industry was shut down for a while and then slow to pick up. I don't, or because because I'm a sensitive soul. I have your notifications on too, Lester says. You see, Lauren? People
Yes,
have
mine.
Yeah, babe. Yeah, we appreciate you.
Lester.
Oh my God, it has to end. This has to end.
Okay.
Okay. Better.
Okay.
My son really likes this one. Okay, so now I'm in Miami. So I'm sure this is very easy to watch. I'm sure. Yeah, Lauren.
Yeah, we're probably
Lester,
really
what a
pissing
great guy.
people off.
What?
We're probably
What
making people have epilepsy. I'm really sorry.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Epilepsy is real and it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Clubhouse, yes.
Oh, so anyway, I've been noticing that like some people didn't slow down. Some people didn't take this time. Yeah, and that is really interesting to me.
I mean, I reflected for sure. I mean, I will say this. When chaos happens, two things happen to me. I go in a mode where I don't have to deal with it, so I distract myself with creation, and it's usually positive creation. And then I eventually have like a nervous fucking breakdown. And I think when 2021 happened, as it's happening now, we are just so over it. I mean, that's why I took myself on a vacation to Miami, and I got so many messages of people saying, "Oh my God, please be careful." Well, if you know me at all, you know I'm not going to be in a crowd of spring breakers. Like, do you fucking even know me?
Well, maybe they don't know you. Maybe
but
they
I
just want to
appreciate
make sure you're
right. But my point is I appreciate the care, but if you've been following me at all, you should know by now how important it is to me to stay safe, but also mental health is so huge. And if we don't give ourselves even a staycation of some sort, even if it's in your own home, making a dinner of a certain cuisine and celebrating that, we're all going to fucking lose it. And
well, I don't know that that's true for everyone, but I know for sure for me, I knew from the very beginning, like, oh, the brain is a part of the body.
it is.
It needs to be healthy, It's
no,
just,
it's
like, it's an organ. It's an organ like the lungs, We've been so focused on physical health, which I do think is, of course, so important, not just for us, but for the community. But mental health is For me, it has been sort of up and down.
Yeah.
It
Well,
has been
same.
up and down. It has been totally up and down. And I think, um, I think it's important to take yourself on a vacation, babe. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Well, I just want to talk more about you. I
Oh,
think you're so fabulous. I mean, I'm great, but like, I think you're so fabulous. And there's something so genuine about you. And I feel like I can trust you. And I know that's not only why you're a great mother, but also why you book and why people want to work with you and be around you. And I just want to talk a little bit about your career and navigating as a mother in this career as an
yeah,
actor and voice
yeah.
actor and so many other things that you do, also deeply, deeply rooted in the Jewish community and the events that you put on. Like, let's just get right into it. Like, tell me and tell us like a little bit more about your journey with acting, because I know that most of your career has been off Broadway, and that's inspiring for me because I was in an off Broadway show 3 years ago, and it was the scariest thing in my life, but it taught me so much because I had major stage fright.
Yeah. You have
And
stage fright? I could
oh,
like literally never imagine that.
I get paralyzed. Not on set, not on camera, because I grew up pretty much on like behind the scenes, right?
I didn't
In
know
film
that.
production. Yeah. I mean, I started in tour production, and then I started working on Zombieland when I was 25. I was a PA. And then I've been on big movies, Hunger Games, and I mean, I've been a cast assistant, talent assistant, chef. Like, I'm just very comfortable on set. But when it comes to theater, I mean, I quit theater to do radio in college because I was afraid I was going to fucking botch it. So
Yeah.
I hid myself for a really long time and just getting back into it. So when I did off Broadway 3 years ago, I had to stand for the first 5 minutes of this very experimental play. It was more a performance piece at Performance Space New York. And I remember I had to stand for 5 minutes and not speak. People don't understand how hard that is. So let's talk a little bit about theater dynamic for you.
Oh my gosh, I miss the theater so much, but I did hear that the public theater is gonna be opening up this summer. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah, they have an open venue, open,
Public theater,
what's that?
Joe's Pub and Public Theater and all that.
Yeah, yeah. So the public does something called Shakespeare in the Park
Yeah,
here
I've
here
been
in
a
New
bunch.
York. They do amazing stuff. I mean, and uh and they're gonna it's in the park, so it's outdoors, and much of New York is being vaccinated, and I think, so much of the culture is, here is just people are here for art and for these like mass gatherings. That's why we come to New York,
I
I
know.
think.
I'm so sad. It's ugh.
Yeah, what's really been interesting for me in this time of opening up and even being vaccinated and like just like ready to lick a subway pole. I mean, just make out with anyone. I'm just like
Fuck yeah.
ready for contact. Um,
I get it.
but there is something very interesting to me about, I took the subway recently, and it was a feeling of like, whoa, 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 this has been missing for a whole year. When we come back together, there's like, it's bittersweet, I think. And so like, even when we talk about the theater reopening, all of a sudden there's like enough space in us to
Right.
realize like, oh God, I really missed that. But so my work in the theater, I just like always was on stage as a child. Like I just liked performing. I think there was a lot of chaos when I was growing up, and I found a lot of peace. I just really sort of believed in my bones early on that I was here to make people feel, and often it's like to make people laugh. I'm
Yeah.
big into that, as
Yes.
I know you are. And I could take people out of their reality through storytelling, even at a very young age. And so my mom always said like the stage was my home, and that is the case, I think. And
I
so yeah, there are times in class where I'll be, and as I was saying, I've been up and down, with my mood, just feeling sort of burnt out.
I feel
Burnt
the same.
out.
We're working harder now than before in many ways.
Yeah, and certainly, I believe that in the entertainment industry for sure. I now have to be my own engineer and
Yeah.
casting assistant, and I have to do a lot of advocating for myself when it comes to my agents. Mostly not for lack of their trying, but also because when you don't see people in person, you forget how much you like them, how much you're connected to them, how even just hi. Going into Buckwald or,
Yeah.
and saying hello, was a big part of my life, you know? So there's a lot more work to do, getting work, and there's a lot more work to do as a mom for sure.
I
Because,
think, you know,
hi, John.
there is sort of like new anxiety with traveling because I'm here in this beautiful hotel and there's all these wonderful people and these poor hospitality workers are, with the mask on and they're hustling and they're understaffed because they had to let so many people go. And it's like you appreciate the vacation, you're grateful, but it's almost like you're in your own little bubble still. I'm not like in
Hmm.
people's faces,
Hmm.
you and it's so hard for people like you and me who
Hmm.
are such talkers and we want to include people and we want to have a party atmosphere like and when I say party, I don't mean party. I mean, you know what I mean, but for
I
the
do
viewer.
know what you mean. I do.
And it's just it's really hard because you don't realize the sort of effects that are going on inside the body
Yeah.
because you are still restraining yourself from human beings.
Yeah. I really feel that, because it's like, even though we're feeling a little more comfortable to take the vacation, even if it's not comfortable, even if it's just like necessary to,
Yeah.
to take the subway to whatever it is. There's a woman on here who actually sent me alcohol wipes and Clorox wipes and disinfectants, all the way from California. It was like the most magnificent moment.
Who?
I mean,
Who?
well, her handle is Zmog. Anyway, she's on here.
Thank you, Z-Mog.
She was, it was like the most amazing thing. But I think for extroverts, um it's been excruciating because, I can't see your whole face. I can't even see your whole body. So I don't really know. I mean, I want to see your whole body. Hi. Um but I don't know how this is landing all the time,
Yeah.
and there are some people who don't care, and that, bless them. But I do, like, I have a real desire to feel connected, not just to the people that I love, which is true, um but to strangers. Like the first time I went to Trader Joe's, I like just like got into like a real Whitney Houston, like
Yeah.
singing with my mask on with the Trader Joe's guy. Like
Oh,
I just like
love Trader Joe's.
needed. Oh
I'm
my
wearing like a
God.
Trader Joe's shirt today. Look at
Oh my
me.
God. You're so Trader Joe's. Bless Trader Joe's. Very good prices.
They're
Very nice
still
selection.
their hospitality and their generosity, even through COVID, like they need to win a fucking award for best grocery store.
I know. I spoke. So I was. So you know how, like, we're talkers. I'm a talker, and there was one of the ladies was checking me out, and I could tell she had a Persian accent, and my family is Persian, and I was like, "Oh, how has it been?" Turns out she just moved to New York 2 years ago with her family. She was like, um, a women's activist in Iran,
Wow.
comes here, works at Trader Joe's, gets the virus, comes right back. I mean, the level of, she was like, well, we had to, we're frontline workers. And it's just so beautiful. The feeling of,
Wow.
um, like, she had a real sense of community. She had a
Mm.
real sense of duty. And it was clear that, like, she's, she's that type of person, but she was joyous in her work, to like be serving the people of the community in this way. It was profound. So
Everybody's found different ways to cope and different ways to share and different ways to create. And no matter what that way is, it's all right. all of it is correct. However you have to cope during this time, you do that. However you want to create during this time, you do that. If you need to shut down and step away, which is honestly in many ways what I should have done this week, but I'm still on Clubhouse. You know why? Because I really love my community and I really want to grow something. And I am so aligned, but I am very tired. And I have to remember that when I burn out, I get real sick. And I don't want my body, because I'm overexerting myself, or anyone out there that's feeling pressure to keep up or create, like, that's your own pressure on yourself, I feel like, many times. And of course, society and social media, but we have to really encourage each other more to take that time if you do need to step off. And I know that's something that you said you were doing, Daniela. And how were you reflecting when you stepped away from Clubhouse for a minute and some of the other media things?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, like, I just really honor your vulnerability right now.
I'm gonna cry. I'm really sad, like, but I'm also very happy. It's a very weird feeling.
I think it's vulnerable. I think you're just feeling, I don't know. You tell me,
I'm
but it's
just feeling.
totally,
I think when you start traveling, you just really see what the pandemic is. We see it on TV and we're alone, and the news scares the shit out of people, you know, so people behave because of that, in certain ways. And the shootings again and all those things are just, something's got to change, and the stocks dipped after, Biden made the announcement that he's going to put more restrictions on magazines.
oh, really?
It's just so fucked up. And it's just like, we can't protect our own country because money, you know?
Right.
And so I'm not meaning to digress. It's just
I don't
really,
think it's a digression. I think it's like exactly what we're talking about, which is stepping back, but also stepping in
yeah.
your experience. Like, there is nothing more beautiful than seeing you. It's why we all love this show, is because we get to see you.
I appreciate that. And I think, do you ever get to the point with what you're doing where you're at your wit's end and then you relax, or do you stop yourself before you get to that point, being a mom, an actor, and having to be all these different new roles because all of us have to be in entertainment? Like, do you stop yourself ahead of time, or do you wait till it gets really bad? Because I think a lot of us tend to wait till our back is up against the wall for change to happen. And that is something we have to start breaking the cycle of.
I have a history of depression and anxiety, so this is not new for me.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, as many creatives do.
Yeah.
Who was I talking to who was like, "You're an artist, like, you're not that special. This is part of the process." It's
Well,
also but what I love about the work that we've been doing together in class is that, like, I don't have to step away because I'm depressed. I don't have to step away because I'm anxious. But I do need to know that my nervous system is the way it is. And when demands are too high, I have to turn to the people around me and say, like, I need help. I need my husband to step in more, because I feel like, since I've been a mom, I was always able to, like, if I was feeling depressed or anxious, if during the winter months, I would feel really down
ugh,
every year.
most
Um,
everyone I know feels that way. If
yeah,
that's effort,
yeah, it
it's
it
hard.
definitely is. It's very hard, and in New York, it's very hard. Um, but I could still be productive. I could still make a nice living. I could still, keep up with friends. I could still live a good life. I
Yeah,
could even be in shows and audition, and you know, um, but as a mom, there's no hiding.
yeah,
There's really no hiding.
yeah.
And
Oh,
what a fucking bummer for someone who needs to hide sometimes. And so
wow.
I have to take it on myself to take the precautions necessary. I mean, there was a long stretch in the pandemic where I couldn't, like, there were no, yes, girl, Just
I'm
get that
kind of
filtered.
matched to you. I'm listening to you.
There was a long stretch
Practicing, I'm
in the
sorry.
in the pandemic where like there were no, yes. All I'm saying is yes. There were no there was no childcare.
Yeah. And so did you normally have childcare?
Yeah, I mean my son is 4. He's a really like gifted guy, and at like 18 months it was clear like this kid needs the type of enrichment that like I'm not smart enough to give him. So
Name
he
is
has been in a
Ness.
Ness, yeah, which means miracle in Hebrew.
I was gonna ask. These are really beautiful names, Ness and Paz, right?
Yeah. Paz means like golden, like greater than gold in Hebrew, but I've taken to the Spanish meaning of peace.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Um Mostly because she is just
Angel.
she is wow. Yeah. I mean, I have really I'm so lucky to have these incredible people that I get to raise. And it's a lot. But he's been in school for a long time because he's such a sort of like hungry learner, which meant that it was hard for me to keep up when school was out of session.
Wait, he's in school and he's only 4?
Yeah, I mean it's like a preschool. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's like a Montessori daycare.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean we call it a school because like they're like they like to call it a school. But that's basically like my childcare. And anyway, it was a lot and it was hard to keep up. One of the things that I did that I think really helped me was I was in class. There was, with you, nearly the entire year.
You're
We've been,
saying it helped you? Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Oh my God. I don't know what I would have done, Daniela, without Josh's class.
yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit and how that made you feel?
Yeah.
Having
Well, so we're both in this class called Committed Impulse. Its main goal is to anchor you in the body and center you, accept wherever you're at, and to create from there. And I, like so many other artists and people, really had this limiting belief that my negative emotions, my neuroses, my depression or anxiety, my feeling unfocused or whatever, was not useful in art making. And that, in fact, if I was feeling that way, that I was not really doing my job. Like my job was to be like,
right, right. Yeah,
and
don't
this,
show that other side. Just perform. Dance, monkey, dance.
yeah, that was what I don't know. I don't consciously believe that, but I think that on a
Right.
subconscious level, partially because that's the way we were raised, like we had parents who usually would say like, oh, cheer up and whatever it is, that negative
Toxic
emotions.
positivity, you mean? Instead of like calling it what it was, which was, I need more help.
Or I need more help. Or honestly, with my children, I practice just saying like, just calling out the emotion. Sounds like you feel
Yeah.
frustrated. It could be simple because like the human experience has a lot of different feelings going on.
Yeah.
And so what this class has helped me do is to like actively practice being where I am,
It's
creating from there. It's so hard.
it's so hard. Like it's taken me like 6 classes for me to understand what I'm doing. Like
I know.
really get in it and say and look around and say I'm back and snap myself into the present moment when my mind trails off or the anxiety starts to come over me. And I think something that Josh really helped me out with was when he told our class, and I don't know if you were in this one, that like a sensation in the body only lasts like 12 seconds. And so if you can just get through those 12 seconds of that anxiety or weirdness or even joy, I mean, it depends. There's so many different emotions, right? Your body's going to shift into another feeling. You may still feel anxiety, but it's going to shift. It can only be how it is for a certain amount of seconds. So anyone can get through 12 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Interestingly enough, I just started working with a new therapist, and her work
Ooh,
yeah, her work is basically identical. I mean,
I love that.
it's kind of interesting, and I think that I wonder where Josh got his. I know that he's coming on the show soon, but
Right.
um, I uh, basically I'll come on and I'll be like, I'm super triggered by potty training. It's like I just like need to know that it's gonna be okay. That like we go to the park and like, and she's like, where in your body do you feel that? And I'm like, Josh,
Whoa.
what?
I think that's called somatic therapy, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I mean, it's something like that. But what's really
I don't.
interesting is that I really have been okay with my like I get really like tripped up. I'm like, is he gonna pee in his pants? And like it's so weird. It is so weird.
But what does it
And
make you do when you feel that way? Are you just like pushing the cart really fast through the
I feel really
experience?
anxious and then I get like kind of like controlling. I'm like, well, you have to go, you have to go, you have to go. And it's like, whoa, are you in his body? What's happening in your body?
Right, right, right.
And so what was happening in my body was I was feeling tense and I was feeling nervous. And when I can tend to that,
Hmm.
I feel tense and I feel nervous before I interact with another human being who
Yeah.
happens to be four, may or may
Yeah.
not be the body. I have a lot more agency and actually a lot more choices. Like I'm not just like, come on, or like you gotta, or I can talk to him like I would normally talk to, this is what happens when a high intensity moment comes in general before we get on stage, like you were talking about.
Mm.
If 3 years ago or whatever years ago, we knew that, like, oh, there is actually rich source material in this anxious place,
Oh, I
in
mean, I
this,
was taking Josh's class at that time,
oh my God.
but like to be fair, it's one thing to practice it in class, it's another thing to do it in real life. Even though it is real life, even though we are experiencing real emotions, when you're by yourself without your Zoom Brady Bunch fam, it's different.
It's different.
It's different because you're not supported. You have to support you. Josh creates a safe space, right? Just like I'm creating a safe space here with you. But if you were to start your own thing, it takes a minute to sort of like mold that safety, right?
For
And
yourself.
for yourself. So it's like the same thing for me in anything new. For example, something quirky about me. When I get to a hotel room, I can't just drop my bags. I have to unpack and set everything up. That is how I create my safe space because it's my home. And I lived at a hotels most of my life because I worked in production and I worked in tour production specifically. So I was in a new hotel every other night. So for me, it's creating that home wherever I am. And that takes a minute and you have to be gentle with yourself. So to put those things in action where you're trying to impart all this knowledge of being present. And when anxiety comes or something comes, when I look around the room and I start noticing the corners and edges of things, and I say, I'm back, I'm completely out of my head. But that takes practice.
It takes practice.
And
Something,
I
no,
was just
something,
everyone did what you said, which was pause, think about the anger, frustration, whatever's coming up before we actually spoke, and put that energy on or to some through somebody else. It'd be a lot different world. So
well,
it's good to take the pause.
the thing is, I think it sounds like really kind of like, I don't know, generic or cliche to say like, oh, I'm so blessed to have these children and da da da. And I'm really tired, don't get me wrong. But I do think that something in motherhood has forced me to take that pause because
Mm.
I know I have a lot of power over these people. And
Yeah.
maybe we have a lot of power over each other too, is what I'm sort of recognizing in this moment, is like we actually do have a lot more power in every moment over the people that we engage with. And I think what's really interesting for you is like you engage really wholeheartedly over over Clubhouse, over here, like,
Mm.
and in real life, and we have a lot of power. And I think that when I experience that like extreme tension, this like fear, oh my God, is something gonna go wrong, right?
Mm.
I had the opportunity to ask myself, first of all, what happened with me in potty training? What's the story for me? But also,
Right.
but also in every single time that happens, that I feel that, like, I get this really weird scared feeling.
Huh. Like a tension in your chest, like an
Yeah.
anxiety right here.
And I get a
That's
I
right.
get a chance I get a chance to reparent myself,
Mm.
to slow down time, and to say like, oh, I see you're feeling that.
I love the way you said that. That was
I,
so gentle.
right, like that's the real thing. Like when we talk about how we like sort of decided as performers, like these are useful emotions and these are not useful emotions.
Right.
Some of that was because it feels better to create when we're happy. And some of that is because of
Yeah.
outside influences, including our parents, who like are toxically positive, because we're always like, if she's uncomfortable, then I'm uncomfortable. Don't be uncomfortable.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
So when I can reparent myself as I'm parenting my child and say, whew, you feel uncomfortable right now? You feel
Mm.
uncomfortable.
I love you.
I feel uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
I don't have to fix it.
You just have to recognize it.
Yeah, I mean, recognize it without judgment. And like, this is, of
Yeah.
course, this is a moment of peace for me. I get to speak I get to speak to someone I love, even though I've never met you in person, you know. But in those moments, I think you're right that it is a practice. It's a practice to bring a sacred space from the Brady Bunch Zoom family into our own bodies.
It's so hard sometimes. And I think it's about repetition and consistency. And I think where I quote unquote fail, and I'm saying that loosely,
Loosely goosely.
just because it's an easy word to say, where I take missteps is when I stop my routine. I've never been a routine person, but COVID put me in a routine where I journal almost every single morning, where I take a breath and will try to meditate. And I will tell you, I've not been doing that the last couple of weeks, and it throws me off.
Yeah. I have a beautiful meditation teacher if you're interested. What kind
Yeah.
of
I have a meditation coach, but I'm always willing to try new ones. I work with Kylie Davis. She's an actor as well. So it's nice to have a fellow actor be able to speak about the anxieties of what we do. And, for many years, I think a lot of us in the business, especially somebody new like me that came from production, in between jobs, we sometimes define our worth by our work. And when we're not working, we feel unworthy, and that's for everyone in production, not just in front of the camera. And so it took me a long time to realize that I wasn't stepping in my power, first of all, and I was hiding behind the camera. But now that I'm in front of the camera, I'm glad I had those experiences of unworthiness. And then I recognized that it was just like me not going deeper, you know what I mean? And not really showing people who I was. So now I haven't booked a job in a year. I've been creating my own shit.
and
But
beautifully and
thank you.
beautifully.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God,
But
I really bow to your creativity. There's this idea in the Vedas. When I'm going to tell you about my meditation teacher. Her name is Emily Fletcher, Ziva
okay.
Meditation, and she always tells us about the the Vedic worldview, of we're always in one part of this cycle, which is creation,
Mm-hmm.
maintenance, destruction.
Yeah.
And the truth is that destruction is a key piece of the puzzle, of life. It is. It can bring so much creativity. I look at your work, and really there was some major destruction happening in March 2020, and look what you created.
I just like, I'm so overwhelmed right now.
Wait, so we could take a second.
Yeah, that's sometimes I just don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it because it's what I feel that I have to do. It wasn't to be rich or famous. It was true, and I'm not any of those things yet. But it was like really to connect and hear other people and step out of my own brain that says I'm not good enough or I'm not doing enough or I'll never get there or I'll never find that partner. And I literally started turning the camera on others and learning from that. And it was just such a huge opening of my heart and my mind and my soul when I started creating space for others. And it wasn't just helping me, it was helping other people to have this show every week.
Yeah.
You don't even understand the messages that people have sent me from Clubhouse, from here, saying, thank you so much for that suicide talk. I really have been there before, and this really helped me this week. Like, I never thought I could make impact like that.
And you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But it's really like, community will save you. And I try to do so much shit on my own forever. And because of Clubhouse and because of Instagram, I am now a collaborator.
I
Like
know.
a real collaborator. Like I enjoy it now. It's not all about me, it's about us. And I had to take out the ego, even though ego will always be with you. I felt like it had to be my empire for so long. And it can be, okay, yeah, branding, marketing wise, but like, even though you come into this world alone and you die alone, the community and the people you make and friends you make along the way are what keep you human and keep you sane. And we just have to have community. We just have to have it. And that's why this year has been so hard for us. And going into 2021 and it's still happening is fucking mind blowing.
It really is mind blowing. I walk down the streets of Brooklyn, and you know how I love Brooklyn.
I moved in December. I left my whole life. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I'm a nomad.
Well, you're a bohemian baby.
I am. I love it, but I also loved having a home in New York.
Yeah, as many people do and did, and it is devastating.
Yeah.
It's devastating. There's one street that looks untouched, like Smith Street, and there are people on the street. And there was a time where I was like, oh no, it's too many people. And I'm like, too many people, give me too many people, just give it to me.
Touch oh my God.
Me! I know. I just like graze my shoulder.
Push me on the fucking subway. I love it.
Yell at me. Just yell at me.
Tell me I'm a bitch.
Tell me I'm a bitch. I mean, actually, there's this one Trader Joe's lady. We were talking about how we love Trader Joe's, but like, this one Trader Joe's lady who just like is like, put up your mask, move away, and I'm like, oh, I fucking hate you, but I also love you because you remind me of home. Something I will say. I don't know. I have been taking more of Emily's courses recently because I have been really feeling down. Because, as you said, it's still going and like how it's still happening. But another fundamental sort of Vedic truth that I think that you touched on was so interesting was like, we have this, I would call it a truth that we come, to this earth alone and we leave alone.
Right.
Totally true. And the reason for being, the reason for it all is that we are all one thing.
Yeah.
We're all one thing. We're all waves on the ocean of all that is. And like we could call it on a scientific level, energy, atoms, Josh Pice will talk about this. We're energy, we're atoms, just like this water, just like you. Some people will call it God. You are the goddess in Lauren form, and I am the goddess in Daniela form. And this is the goddess in a very good water bottle, even though you don't do water bottles anymore.
Well, you know what's really funny is I'm drinking out of a plastic cup at the hotel because they refuse to give me a glass, like a coffee cup mug. But I'm going to put this in recycling. But I bring my Kangen wherever we go. But go ahead.
Another time.
Another time we'll talk about water.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Seriously.
But the two became one. What Emily says that I love so much, and she's a dear friend, and I've been really enjoying her lessons recently. The two became the one became two for the joy of becoming one again.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're all one thing, right? If this whole cosmic thing is one thing, if we're all one beating heart that makes Earth, the universe, whatever, why would we be separate in two different bodies? For the joy of having this conversation. For the joy of feeling connected right now.
Yeah.
For the joy of being like, wow, I'm seen. I get you and you get me. And like, that's what you're doing in these in your shows and in your rooms. I think what I get from that is that you're reminding us that we have the illusion of separateness.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are together if we choose to recognize it.
Yeah.
If you choose to take is it the red pill or the blue pill? I don't know.
I fucking love you. And I
love you.
The joy just like came out. This is what Josh's class is like. Like, you can't fuck this shit up if you just show up and you're yourself. You can't fuck up life. You can't wrong yourself. Don't make yourself wrong. Mel Robbins always talks about that. She's one of my heroes. She's the one that met me and said, you're a liar and you need to stop hiding yourself. And I went on that journey. And again, that's another conversation for another day. So I always talk about like, stop hiding yourself. And when I'm doing these auditions, I just did a self-tape for a huge series regular yesterday, my first theatrical audition. I've been manifesting a series regular. I don't know if I'll get it, but it's not even about that. I wanted that. And for my first audition for my new theatrical agent to be a fucking series regular, what?
Yep.
And my point is, I was sitting there and I was like in my head, lines. And the one take I finally sent was the one where I was like, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be me through these words. And if it comes out, it comes out. And if it doesn't, guess what? I'll do better next time. But I'm tired of worrying. I'm tired of being mad at myself. I'm tired of being sad that I'm single. I'm tired of feeling like I'm not going to fucking make it, because fuck that. Those are story loops that we tell ourselves in this crazy life. And that's why I created this show, to connect, to get out of your head, to get in the moment, and to really just be here.
Mm-hmm. Lester says, I hope you get it. You have a lot of really beautiful, supportive people on this.
These incredible people, by the way. Tokes is a fucking like healer / oracle, tarot reader. Lester and I were in the only off-Broadway play I ever did, called The Slow Room. Johnny is incredible. I believe he has a podcast as well, and he's been helping me in my clubhouse rooms. I mean, this is our community. Cara Hope, she read lines with me yesterday. Like, I don't even know her, and she's 18 and she's an up-and-coming actress, and she read lines with me for half an hour. Yeah. And I met her on Clubhouse. This is what life is about. And like you said, there's this illusion of separation. And it's because fear will fuck you, and fear will separate you, and fear will turn you against people. And we have to continue speaking up and out against that monster that tries to consume us, and we can't allow it to come in.
Well, I don't, I'm going to offer a yes and.
Oh yeah.
Which is fear.
Too.
What's that?
My demons help me too.
I think so too. I mean, look at Look at how connected we are when we get to talk about your demons. Look how many hearts are popping right now.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You know, and like what, and we also get, we also have the opportunity when fear comes in to be courageous.
Hmm.
If I never had fear, I would never have the experience of conquering my fear.
Yeah.
I mean, you've conquered.
Say that again.
Well, if I never had fear, I would never have the experience of conquering my fear, and that is um, that's self-esteem boosting. That
Mm.
makes me feel like I can come to this. And I was nervous. Remember, I told you an hour ago I was nervous. It
Yeah.
means that I could come here and I could immediately rifle back into my catalog of life and say, well, you survived all those other ones. You
Yes.
survived all the other times you were afraid. And like, what if your demons and your fears and your gnarly ass feelings were part of the human condition? As you so rightly put it, if we are open enough, it is a sad time. It can be bittersweet that the public is opening their season again.
Yeah, it's
It
weird.
can be bittersweet that I finally got on the subway after a year. Like, yay! And wow, how I've missed
Yeah.
you.
I have cried more this week than I have in the entire pandemic.
Because your nervous system finally can feel the sun on your face and on your
Yeah.
body and feel alone for a second. And it knows that it's safe. It's
Yeah.
safe with you.
Yeah.
Your nervous system can finally say, okay, I think it's time to release. I have felt so depressed this week.
Me too. Oh
So
my God.
depressed. I have felt so depressed. I really called my husband and I was like, I've, I either have COVID and it's just fatigue and brain fog, or
Me
I'm really depressed. I'm really depressed. You know, and every time I get to hang out with an evolved soul, I feel better. So it's not COVID.
Me too. I feel better too. I just, wow. And for anyone watching, like, I don't script anything. I mean, how could you script what we're doing right now? We would have to be like, we'd have to be Academy Award winners. But this is, which we will be. But I mean, that's just it. I've been wondering why I've been feeling this brain fog. I've been thinking I've had COVID all week.
I know, I know.
So weird.
It's called, it's called burnout, but I also think the accumulation of burnout and depression and fear and sadness and suppressing because we had to be in fight or flight for so long, all of a sudden it caught up to us. The thing about the nervous system that I don't that I'm recognizing is like when it feels safe, when I have like a second of like childcare, I know my kids are safe and I don't have work actually, all of a sudden I can feel like, oh wow, that was a lot. I get these like time hops. I get these like photos of like old pictures from a year ago. Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Whew.
That was a lot.
It's so interesting. This is bringing up so many thoughts. And I don't want to take too much of your time because I know we're at 1 o'clock, but it's up to you if you want to keep going for a few more minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like we're on a roll here. But like, I feel like in many ways, a lot of us live in the past, not the present. And a lot of us live in the future. And like when you said those memories come up, like I'll see something from 8 years ago and I'll think two things depending on what the memory is. I'm either very evolved from that and happy I've moved on, or I look back and I'm like, man, I wish I looked like that. Man, I wish I experienced that. And it's just being present is the one gift if humanity really tapped into the vibrations would transcend anything ever created in the universe. Like
I
we
do.
we aren't living in the present, many of us, and myself included.
Myself included. And I think what you touched on before was totally right. It's I wish I would just like graduate.
Yeah.
But I'm, I I have been a part of like the 12-step community, in recovery for an eating disorder for a decade now. And they
Really?
always say, yeah, they always say, you're not going to graduate. This is it. This is life. You're not going to not have an eating disorder anymore. Oh my
Yeah.
God, yes. You're not going to not be human anymore. You're not
Right.
going to, you know what I mean? I have to accept that, like, oh, I'm not going to erase this experience. What I'm going to do is reach out to Lauren. What I'm going to do is do my meditation. What I'm going to do, like you said,
Yeah.
with your routine or your ritual,
Yeah.
because I have not graduated and I won't graduate. And that used to really upset me, but it's now a reminder that, like, oh, it's not a punishment to do breath work. It's not a punishment to see the shadows on the wall and to say I'm back, and to, it's not a punishment. I didn't do anything wrong. I am a person on a life journey. I am a person in a body. This is what it is to have a body.
Yeah. It's wild, huh? You want to see without what it looks like to not have a body? Do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm a shrimp.
what am I? My son plays this game with his friends who he like hasn't seen in like years. They like just basically like play filters, and it's really fun. I like it. Just
We could
really
have
fun.
done this just for a whole hour, just the filters. But
Just the
seriously,
filters.
back to you, I think, first of all, women are some of the most resilient creatures ever. Moms, and then people in entertainment. I mean, if you can survive a pandemic and still keep pursuing your dreams, that's a lot. And I think I don't give myself even credit for that.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Sometimes I get down on myself, but because just like you, it's been very slow for me. I did get to be on this really cool HBO show, which was so cool, super super cool. Oh my
Can you
God.
tell everybody?
Yeah, it's a mini series called Scenes from a Marriage, starring Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain. And I play Oscar's wife, and my daughter plays our son.
So crazy.
So
I love it.
crazy.
Not the gender thing, the just amazing experience that you got to have your daughter.
Yeah, it really was amazing. Um, and that has been such a bright spot. It was so cool. Other than that, it's been extremely slow for me. Extremely slow for me, and painfully so, because, like, my ego would really love for me to be like, I am a working actress. I make this amount of money, and I am successful because I did that. And
But you are all those things.
I am all those things, totally, totally. And it's been a hard, slow year.
I'm telling you, oh no,
You
oh,
lost me for a second. Sorry.
no, keep
Sorry.
going. You were
Are
saying
we
it's been
back?
a hard, slow year, but
It's been a hard, slow year. But like you said, I'm still pursuing.
yeah.
I have the luxury. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, hello, privilege.
I have the privilege. I have the privilege and the luxury to pursue being an actor and an artist, to have very slow years, to have very full years financially and creatively. I have the luxury to do that.
Mm, mm.
And that's because my parents came here from Israel with nothing. Nothing. They made money, they lost money, whatever it is. I'm in a partnership. I get to be a mother
Yeah.
now. That, with great privilege comes a lot of responsibility, and I have to own that every day. But like you said, I'm I'm in awe of us. I really am. I'm
Mm.
in awe of us that we are still standing, that, I that I could still be in Brooklyn. That's
Yeah.
that's a miracle.
Yeah.
That's a miracle.
I could have stayed, but I was tired of having to find some because I had a 2 bed, 1 bath rent stabilized.
Wow.
But I had mouse problems. I had a conniving landlord. I had my place broken into. I was tired of Airbnb-ing it. And I just had to say, you know what? If it came for me once, it'll come for me again. That's my second time already living in New York.
I mean, I think what happened with a lot of the rentals was that, like, New York landlords could be assholes, they could. That's the truth. They could be assholes. They could be negligent for so long because you got to live in New York City for however
Yeah.
much money. And then all of a sudden, everyone was like, what? This is terrible.
Yeah.
And they left. You know, I
Well, I
don't
just
have,
tired of putting up with the bullshit and being railroaded and blackmailed by a landlord. You
yeah.
know, like fuck that. I can start over again, and if I do come back, I'm I want to buy a house. I don't want to rent anymore.
Well, something I always fall back on is that, like, my grandparents were Holocaust survivors.
Wow.
And yeah, and you know, they came they built the state of Israel, they left, they came to the United States, each time starting from zero.
Yeah.
Each time starting from less than zero because they had so much trauma and the bravery to have children. The fact that that is even a thing is amazing to me. But what they sort of relied on was themselves, was
Hmm.
their smarts and their hardworking nature. That's what we have. That's our greatest commodity. Not
Yeah.
not the apartment, not the real. It's our ingenuity.
Yeah.
It's how we show up.
Yeah. Fuck. Mic drop. No, that's amazing. And the fact that your grandparents were Holocaust survivors and, you know, it's all relative. And I think we can compare ourselves to others, but everybody goes through life differently. And we just have to continue to be as supportive of our own dreams as we are of other people we love in our lives and be gentle. And I have to constantly tell myself to be gentle,
Yeah.
not just with myself, but my speech, because I am an empath and I know sometimes the way I speak or have in the past can come off, you know, not the way I want it to. And so I have to recognize that. And actually, leaving New York helped me, get a little more polite. I had sort of lost my Southern charm for a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe not lost it, but you know what I mean.
I
And
do.
it's important to step away. And like Lester said, New York will always be there for you. My friends say that in LA too, because I lived in LA twice. But I feel like I'm a citizen of the world, and wherever I land, I'll start from zero and go to 100. But right now I'm in a flow. And what's so interesting is both of us have created from right where we were. And when you share yourself and you don't hide yourself, that's when abundance starts showing up for you. You don't have to chase it anymore. And so I don't want anyone to feel like they have to chase. It's just about being patient and, really committed, and consistency in anything is king. And it's exhausting. It is. It's not for everybody. This business isn't for everybody, but this life is, and we have to figure out how to navigate that first. Everything else is just a title.
Hmm. I see you as you and your skin being your home.
It has to be. Where else am I going to go?
This is
I've
it.
always felt very homeless, even though I have a family, but they don't get me. So that's really
Mhm.
hard. But
Yeah, it
I
is.
also don't always allow them to see me, to be quite honest, if we're going to like really go deep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really vulnerable to be seen. And
Mm.
maybe they're not there yet. to see to
Well,
get to see you.
and that's a whole other conversation. We need to do a show based on that alone, like how your friends versus your parents perceive you, especially the way our generation has fallen into a very vanity based social media experience. You know, sometimes my mom doesn't realize that like I'm on the phone all the time and social media all the time, not for likes, but like to make actual relationships and
Yeah.
collaborations. And it's definitely looked at completely different by my family.
I
So
really honor what you're doing. I really do. I
thank
really
you.
do. I really honor what you're doing. I really honor your hustle. I really honor your taking a break. I really honor how like vulnerable you've been with me.
Thank you. I
And
want to.
I love your work in our class. I
Ugh,
love your acting work. I'm just a real fan.
I'm a fan of you.
Thanks.
Oh, I had a call. I had a call.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was just telling you that it was very healing.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
I thank you for coming on and being vulnerable with us and sharing a little bit about how it's been for you. I mean, I know that you and I could talk for hours because I just feel like we have that kind of relationship. So if anyone didn't know who Daniela Rabani was before today, now you know her a little bit better. Please follow her, connect with her on Clubhouse and Instagram, and watch her work. And I'll see you in class in like 2 weeks. And thank you so much for being on Quarantine But Cute. It's been so lovely to get to know you this way because I've been wanting to talk to you on a deeper level. And we had that chance today. And now I'm going to go to the beach. I haven't been to the beach all week. I've been staying at the hotel, but I'm going to go to the beach because it's not South Beach, it's Mid Beach. And I'm just going to go get some sun before I have to do some meetings later because I'm still working. I'm always working. Um, but it's for a reason. Everything I'm doing is for a reason, you know? So I appreciate you being here and your work and your time.
Thank you. Thank you for you and for your work and for this platform. I'm really grateful.
I love you. Thank you all for watching. Join me next week. I can't even remember. Oh, we're doing cocktails and mocktails. So if you are not a drinker, but you like a little mocktail, we're going to do a version of that too, with some gals that I'll announce later. They're in upstate New York. So we're going to be doing that next week. They do a history of cocktails podcast. So they really go into the history of why certain cocktails are made and how they were created. So it's going to be a little history lesson, not lesson. I'm excited.
I love that.
Yes, girl. Well, have a beautiful week. Go
Thank
get some
you.
air. I'm going to do the same thing and
Enjoy
get
the
some.
beach.
You can pop a vitamin D or you can go get it. So I'm going to go get it.
Go get it.
I'm going to get it. I love
Bye.
y'all. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye.